What if we gave Hungarians the sword of Muhammad and they started LARPing as the Fatimid Caliphate? Good question. After the first video brought our Magyars to North Africa's steppe situation, we're going to finish their tale in this video, and trust me, it's going to get crazy. Make sure to leave a like and enjoy. My friends, the moggening is undoubtedly here. We have arrived in North Africa and there is so much that I want to do. As King Arpad the Handsome of the Magyars, we have converted to Ismaili, although technically speaking our steppe horde is still attached to Taltusism. We're going to stop this and we're going to turn all of our people to indeed the right one faith. Because once you think about it, it should become pretty clear we did find the sword of Muhammad. We are here in the name of the one and only. Now, much like in the first video where we started as the Magyars and then made our way into the Pannonian Basin, we raided a lot, we talked a lot about history, that is exactly what we're going to do here today as well, because we just so hit the actual historical events in this particular area on the head. And what I mean here is that in the year 902 until I believe 910, the Fatimids arrived in Ifriqiya, so in this particular area, and actually, there it is, this particular Berber tribe, the Kutamids, supported their assault on the Aghlabid dynasty that was living in these parts as the official but only nominal governors of the Arabian Caliph of the Abbasids. You have to see that the Fatimid Caliphate that was founded right here was very successful, especially in dominating the central Mediterranean, spreading even to the western Mediterranean and so on. But the ultimate goal, without a doubt, was to reclaim what they thought was rightfully theirs. And what's more, take a look at this. I found, and you can see it on the Steam Workshop as well, this beautiful model of Baghdad. My god, somebody built this just out of vanilla assets. Baghdad was of course a very special city, completely planned. It was a round city. And now we have it right there, ready for conquest. So that is exactly what we're trying to look into today. Actually, one of the big things that I need to do, and I'm going to do this fully off camera, I am going to turn all of this into just steppe, which means that I will revoke the local landowners and then start destroying any holding that I have here directly. With the exception of Mahdia. You can see it here as well. I placed a boat ages ago right next to Mahdia. Mahdia was the most important port in this particular region and in this particular time frame. It makes it so that you can supply your fleets, that you can supply any raiders and traders before they head on over to Sicily, which is of course dangerous because this is a contested region. There are many Christians here, and Mahdia essentially gives us the peace of mind where we then know that we can raid, that we can sack, that we can burn, and just come back to a safe port. That one I would actually like to hand over to somebody that, well, can hold these type of holdings, right? So this will be a very important non-nomadic location. And wow, color me surprised, but I'm pretty sure that literally all of them converted. They seem to not have been a big fan. Oh, except he, but I guess he's in prison. They seem to not have been big fans of Ash'ari Islam. And with that, all of the Berbers have actually converted to our faith. And this is now kind of funny. I'm still getting events for this. We did start a legend way back home, where I now hold no lands whatsoever. We released everybody as tributaries, which to me kind of just says, hey, maybe I should just end this legend. It is just level 1, it is the base version. But it might mean that I can build a legendary statue. That would be pretty cool. And back to the Fatimids. When they arrived here, they had very capable men. You have to imagine that the Fatimids were, of course, sought by the Caliph because they were potential rivals that he wanted to suppress. Because of this, they mostly lived underground and, well, not literally, but I hope you get it. And then they made their way all the way over here to Africa when it became clear that the Berber tribes had become open to the idea of putting the Fatimids on the throne in this region. When they did this, though, they had a good infrastructure, they had a good system. I love that all these tributary lines, they all run up here. That's very funny. They're going to cancel all of these tributaries, by the way, just bit by bit. They're going to tell me to F off, and I'm not going to do anything about it. But back to the Fatimids, they had extremely well-running generals. I wish that we could be one of them, because King Arpad right here, of course, comes from a tradition, we talked about it in the last video as well at length, where the Magyars essentially had two rulers, very much akin to what the Khazars had as well. They had a Kunde and a Jula. In this case, the Jula being the military, the practical, the secular ruler, and then the Kunde being the sacral king. So a king that stands for the will of the gods and the blessings of them as well. I would love it if we could be the temporal ruler and then we could have a Fatimid. You know what, actually, I never even thought about this. There are two Fatimid adventurers, one of which is the Imami head of faith, and then the other one is the historical branch that went on to found the Caliphate. So this guy is Ismaili. These are all the Imamism folks, right? Where are you, Master Hussein? He is... Oh my god. He's in the Mediterranean. He was hiding away in the oasis of Al-Farafra. And once he heard the good word... Oh my god. Is this actually good AI accidental roleplay? Once he heard the good word that Ismaili Magyars started to exist, he said... It is our time to shine. They have conquered North Africa in our name. And I actually really love this idea. If I can settle this man in my territory, I absolutely will. My god. I would love to be the temporal ruler the same way that the Seljuk Turks were not ever the caliphate. But nonetheless, they were the supremes of the caliphate because the caliph gave them the right to be basically his shield and sword. If you could have the Magyar dual kingdomship, you know, kind of go into that as well, now that is good roleplay. And there they are in the little camp. Oh, that is exciting. Can you think I can do this? Negotiate settlement. Chief Hussein the Honest has been settled. I could only give him Jerba, but I am actually going to go ahead and grant him Madia right here. He is technically speaking nomadic. He can settle whenever he wants. That is completely fine by me. He can have control over our most important trade-based cities. I can matrilineally marry him to one of my daughters and then breeding Said into our family, which is rare, but it would be great. And now we're coming to the interesting topic. Sultan Ali II Ibn Umar of the Maghreb of the Idrisid dynasty wants to marry my daughter. I don't think so, because you will owe me tribute. That is the only relationship that you and I will ever have, my friend. Historically speaking, the Fatimids essentially pacified this entire region, turning it into tributaries until they started looking towards Egypt repeatedly. The first invasion didn't go well, but they were also active, very active, here in southern Italy. Now, for the time being, why don't I just go ahead and start conquering the duchies that directly are adjacent to us? Ooh, and a new dynasty legacy, Scorched Earth. Yeah, that is a great one. I will say that I haven't actually played with any of the other legacy factors because nomads are so strong you never really reach it. This looks decent, it's okay. I'm honestly kind of boring if you ask me. I like a new Man-at-Arms, although, wow, seems very, very strong. Jesus Christ. Peace of the Great Khan. So you have to be the Great Khan here, and then that will help building cities of the Great Steppe. It seems interesting, but this is one of the worst tooltips I've seen in my life. No idea what that means. Good luck. I love it when they do that, where they're like, oh, it could be great, it could be terrible. I'm not telling you, though. That's always a bit of a funny attitude, I think, from developers there. Oh, and look at this, that is cool. We are now in the other region of this particular world here. I activated other steppe regions in this playthrough. We are in North Africa, which is currently experiencing everlasting summer. Very nice. Then there's the Sahara, so this is this color. And lastly, of course, we have the Sahel all the way down there. And things are looking pretty good. I'm happy that I am in a good region anyway. And the King of Hungary wants an alliance with us. He is my beloved son. I did leave him behind. Can't you just, like, annex all of the other folks, buddy? Can't you just do that? Ah, and it looks as though the Chieftain Hussein that we gave that land died. And now, his heir, Chieftain Ahmad right here, the future Caliph of all the Ummah, is hosting a hunt. I will obviously attend. I want to participate in this. This is our very first outing together with them after our families are basically being merged into one. Let's visit Magyarab. After a long wait, we finally all line up. After a bit of back and forth, finally, High Chieftain Ahmad lifts his bow up to kill the first enemy. A pained scream is followed by panic bleating as the animals go wild. The moment we hear the scream, several riders set out immediately. They are all trying to prove themselves, to each other, and to the High Chieftain. And yet, I will be the best hunter here. And, well, the best looking one as well. And back to reality. The Nerj is over and, maybe more importantly, the Maghreb is yet to be subdued. Sultan Ali II, he thinks highly of me, but he is a Zaidi. I need him to pay me tribute. Oh, and he immediately accepts. He is afraid of us. What about Al-Andalus? I don't care for your petty squabbles up on the Iberian Peninsula. We have something important to do. Let's bring him under tribute. Let's take Cordoba. And I am kind of running out of herd here as I'm building a lot of buildings. I guess I have to stop. This is just actually crazy. Luckily, as a nomad, you don't actually need herd, because if I ever want to replenish my men-at-arms, I can just press the refill button and pay money. It's really weird because shouldn't they need the horses? But you know what? I don't mind because it means that I can do absolute nonsense and still win. Let's check in on our relative, how the Magyar is doing here. He is losing. Okay, you know, I think the dream of Hungary is over. My god, what are the Byzantines doing up here? That is a weird comeback, but, you know, I'm not over there. I'm not gonna think about this. I'm only thinking of the sack of Cordoba. Because at least something is going right in the world. We even did imprison... Oh, we caught his dynasty banner. And the Umayyads were, of course, some of the original caliphs. That is good stuff. We are gaining some momentum here with our claim to rule over the entire Ummah. And that is Al-Andalus done. And I didn't even defeat his troops. I want him, of course, to win his war against Asturias, so I don't want to hinder him there. But I do need this to be exactly what it is. That is just beautifully spread out there. You can also see that High Chieftain Ahmad II, he has created a duchy title. He's dominated it. Good for him. Nothing against that. I am slightly over my domain limit, in case you hadn't noticed. I think it is time that we raid towards the east. I want to find out just how strong are the Tulunids over there, King Mudar. So the Tulunids are indeed, and if we go up here you can see this, they are originally a Turkic dynasty that was set up as the governors of Egypt, which at this point was a tradition, right? Think of the Mamluks, think of the tradition of having foreign rulers rule over Egypt so that they stay loyal. They didn't stay loyal, might I add. They tried to rebel against the Abbasids, at times were independent and then later on brought back into the fold until they were toppled. At this point in time, they already didn't rule Egypt anymore. Here they are though, and honestly, they are pretty big. Plus, I may need the herd. Yeah, we kind of do need that. You know what I really hate, by the way? If you ever conquer something as nomads that you want to keep raising, well, take a look at this. It acts as though I can raise all of those, but they're actually on a cooldown. I hope they fix this soon, because right now this is completely useless and I need to remember the years in which I can start raising again. Oh, and as I am raiding, we're making our way in an incredibly inhospitable area. What was this road called? This minor road right here is a Roman road. Is it like the Augustan road or something? But you know, let's stop talking about roads for just a moment, because I think we're going to witness the very first disaster of the Egyptians. They will hear, yeah, the tales of the Magyars. This is very rude. Magistrate Georges of Sirte led the very first legion against us, and it wasn't a success. Let's go directly for Cairo. Let's take down their capital to teach them a lesson. My god, we are so fast at raiding. It is unhinged. Just disgusting. I barely have any time here. And now, much like the historical Fatimids, it is time that we make an incredibly important jump, and that is the jump to Sicily. I have talked about this at length, and I could talk about this until the end of time, but Sicily is unbelievably important. The initial wealth that the Fatimids enjoyed when they lived in North Africa came primarily from the fact that every piece of trade that had to go through the central Mediterranean, to some degree, be it through piracy or through legitimate toll and customs, had to go through the Fatimids. This is an incredibly important location, and also explains why the Fatimids ultimately were much worse off in Egypt, because you cannot dominate the sea the same way that you can do it right over here, right? If you don't hold Cyprus, then you don't hold anything in the Levant. This is pretty much open season, whereas this right here, yep, this strait, and of course everything related to the republics of Amalfi, of Genoa, of Pisa, and so on, is within your grasp. And, well, that is a very good reason, I think, to take this over in the name of the Ismaili faithful. And good lord, it fell so easily. I mean, how else could it be? We are nomads. We do have some local rulers here. You know what, they're not worth the trouble. Sicily is a location of diversity. It is best to keep local rulers in charge so that I don't need to worry about it. I'm actually going to go ahead and give this guy titles. Here's Maghrebi, he can take care of this land, I don't care. I don't even understand this negotiate obedience thing, by the way. Why would Sultan Muhammad II, the Gallic king of Al-Andalus, be happy about receiving 506 herd? The dude doesn't have herd. Does this do anything for him? Wait a minute. I'm going to give him herd. I would rather give him money because I have infinite of that, but... So, take a look at this. All of those are his stats. I don't think anything went up, but he is obedient now, which means that he won't go for independence. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Whatever, okay? If the AI says they need a couple of goats, I'll give them to them. It's hardly a fight, I'll be honest, but Kaiser Unruch the Old of the House of Unruchinges, hard to pronounce, he needs to be taught a lesson. I'm impressed that they did form Italia, but yeah. Against Hungarians you stand no chance, which is why you should never oppose them, be that in the game or in real life. Oh no, what happened here? Hi, Chieftain Balash. I just gave him territory and he created a culture called Arpad. That is a crime. You should not have done that. It is what it is. I wish he had given it a cooler name. Now, this hybridization is, of course, worth talking about in a broader sense, because we do actually have a really fascinating case of Magyars living in North Africa. I believe it is actually in Sudan. At least that is what I read about in a paper that I researched on this. I will tell you, the paper didn't have much to say. It was just somebody going down there and essentially taking up what ethnic groups live in that region. And they said that there are Magyarabs, and I don't know how to pronounce it, Magyarab, whatever you want to say. And apparently this isn't a portmanteau between Arab and Magyar, but rather it is just what you say for the tribe of the Magyars in the local language. Now those people, and that is interesting as well, we see this in the beautiful depiction of culture in Crusader Kings III. What you see when you change culture, when you hybridize, is that very often you leave something behind completely, while still of course having certain practices. They said that in this region, the Magyarabs are fully aware that they belong to a unique and originally distant tribe of people. However, they don't have anything preserved when it comes to their language and so on. And you can see this right here. The Arpad culture, well, yeah, this name, how could you forget that you are Magyar? Because you are named after my dynasty for some reason. But they have Berber heritage and Berber language. They have fully given into assimilation, mostly when it comes to the rites and practices of the local culture that was already present down here. The Magyarabs actually, I believe, came down there in the 16th or 17th century, related to intermarriages and so on and so forth. So much later than where we are, yeah. But nonetheless, this type of interplay and the intermingling between cultures after large-scale migration, super interesting stuff, and very often ended in an assimilation into the already existing culture there, while maintaining a certain sense of independence. Where the hell are the Italians? Their armies? Oh, wait a minute, they're down there. Well, hello there. We are gonna fight in hills. It's not perfect, but I would be surprised if we lost this one. I mean, come on. Oh, yep, okay, come on. Who other kids are we missing? I don't want to be rude to any of them, although, of course, only one can be our primary heir, which is Philip right here. You are the king that I left behind, right? Ah, we got Almos sitting all on his own there. I'm going to tear all this down fully, and then I'm going to give this to Almosh, and we have settled the Arpads in beautiful Algeria. I can tell you right now, by the way, and I don't know where they will land after the balancing is over. It could be extreme downwards, it could be just, you know, roughly balanced. I am not too certain, but I can tell you that the bug that we discussed, where essentially you get 400% of everything that you should be getting if you have the adventure herd intent. Normally it should be 100%, but it will be 400%. That is a bug. Again, no idea how exactly they will fix this, so whether they will nerf it all too much or who knows. I can tell you though, it's definitely not intended. I think we got time, right? We're just gonna go around here, take the southern coast. My god, we are so disgustingly fast. I guess it deserves a nerf. It's very powerful. Oh, and what is that? Caliph Al-Mutari the Strange has taken over the Tulunids. They're gone. Fully absorbed them. This was a claim war as well, and I believe both of them are administrators, so not too much about the structure changes, except of course for the fact that the Tulunids are completely gone. And this gives us exactly the opportunity that we needed. I have handed out all of the titles to, oh, you are not yet obedient, to obedient vassals who will come with us when we migrate. At least that is as I understand the mechanics. So this means all of my relatives, some of these locals, so the Baranes for example, the Butre, right, they should be coming with us to Egypt. I am going to declare this war, which means we will abandon all of this. I have left behind strong structures. The Agdunids, for example, should be able to hold on to much of southern Sicily. Okay, you know what? They are much worse off than I thought they would be. They are probably going to become independent, but that is none of my concern, because we are going to make the historical move as it happened, as it occurred by the Fatimids. You're not becoming my tributary. I will overrun Egypt. I will create a new base and see whether we can't settle there and become a strong Ismaili caliphate. The great wrath of Arpad, the leader of the Hungarians, the ones that have the sword of Muhammad, is now getting on his way to take over Cairo in the name of the one and only righteous family of Islam, the Fatimids. I will kick out the Abbasids, first out of Egypt, and then later on I'm sure even out of Baghdad proper. And oh my god, there they are. They aren't coming with too many troops. I mean, This isn't everything that they have on their list anyway. Are they actually going to siege my territory down? That would be... I mean, I would definitely turn around and crush them, but I would have preferred fighting in their territory. But I mean, I guess we see how it is going. I will completely smack them. There's no escape. You're done. You separated... I mean, come on. Classic AI right here. Complete wipe. Oh, and I like this event. I wish it was more expanded upon. Commander of the Faithful, Caliph Tawfiq has demanded that my Muslim soldiers stand down on the grounds that he is the rightful successor to the Prophet, and they have obeyed him. Who gives a damn whether he is successor to his own backside? That will not stop me from planting my foot in it. Levy size goes down. We don't use levies, so I don't know what to tell you. That seems like a bit of an oversight. Oh, and here they are in full force. They've actually arrived. He must have purchased, yes, so many local troops, right? So many men-at-arms from his governors. That is the strength of administrative gameplay. I'm not sure it's gonna help you. You want to give me assistance? I don't think so, pal. Yeah, look at that. We are countering them heavily. They're barely doing any damage, despite, of course, him bringing 2,400. They're only doing 28%. Whereas me just having a lot of the same men-at-arms makes it so that, yeah, you're getting crushed here. Oh, is this even a full wipe? Oh my god, that is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. We can end this war, and I do want to. I just want to make sure that we actually have obedience from everybody so that they migrate with me. And I'm going to hope that we get a super diverse setup since we are bringing so many of our vassals. Your nomadic vassals either gain taken titles or become independent. Your herd and nomadic hordes are exchanged for gold and special soldiers. That's okay. We are becoming a normal realm because being a nomad is way too overpowered. Your capital is converted to your culture. Dukes' capitals are converted to their culture and faith. Yada yada yada. Let's see how that went. It's looking good. Okay, looking kind of cute here. We still have a lot of troops from what I can tell. We got an Arpad, they all migrated with me. Oh, I love that so much. We have the Hussein, we have the Fatimids with us. This is the Fatimids dynasty, make no mistake. Wow. I really like that mechanic. And we leave behind a lot of locals. A lot of locals and, of course, a completely torn down area. You have to realize that I did what I could to completely eviscerate this region, right? All of this is now nomadic. There are some buildings still left, but I hope you get the drift here. And I'm pretty sure, if I see this correctly, yeah, those are all... Oh my god, they're all herders. So people that are nomadic can now freely expand into this. Super interesting. But no longer relevant for us. Now, you should know that when the Fatimids indeed left, they didn't leave this in complete disarray. They left behind a governor. But Muslim naval supremacy in this region had already been over when the Fatimids were migrating, which meant that your grain trade, so many other things that brought you prosperity are no longer a thing that matters for you. All of this made it so that, yeah, sooner rather than later, Tunisia was actually falling from grace. It was no longer nearly as impactful and powerful as it was under the Fatimids, and never really was going to rise to such heights ever again. And all of a sudden, we are in a pretty normal position. I have way too much money. I do want to say this. That seems like kind of cheating. I'm gonna dissolve a bunch of my troops. Obviously, I don't want steppe raiders, right? I really don't even want the torchbearers. Instead, we can just go on and get some proper... There you go. Yep, Onagas makes perfect sense to me. We have a lot of horses right now. I'm gonna downgrade to the legal limits. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm a fair player, right? I don't want to be way overpowered because we've been way overpowered the entire time. Curse of being a nomad, I guess. Now let me take in the cultural position. We have Egyptians here. We got Magyars right here. You know, I would really like to merge with Egyptian now that I think about it. So why not? Let's make MAGYARABS that are both Magyar and Egyptian rather than making our own. We have plenty of troops. I feel pretty secure in this position, although I can't raid anymore. None of that is functioning for us anymore, so instead I probably will want to bring people under tribute, right? That seems to be the angle that we can take there. It has to be crazy depressing now that I think about this, right? King Martin, my son, I sent him to rule up here when we left. And now the entire family business, everybody rules together in Egypt, we're all hanging out, having a good time. It's only him, who is the lone Ismaili Magyar of the Magyars that are Catholic. This has to suck, and yet he loves me. My god, what a good young man. Too bad he lives a terrible life. Speaking of terrible life, let us wage our very first war against somebody that is now meeting a clan government rather than nomads. King Muhammad the Hideous, which is very funny, his name is Muhammad and he is Coptic. We are going to turn him into a tributary. I don't want to hold this myself, but I do want the money. And I had measles, got treated, and now I have the coolest possible face mask. God, am I glad to be Hungarian. Look at that beauty. Now, I'm gonna tell you, Normally when you go somewhere and immediately you get massive disease outbreaks, maybe that means that God doesn't like you, but I'm gonna interpret it the other way around. God loves us, okay? He's just cleansing the land from all those that he doesn't love, which isn't us. Oh, and speak of the devil. He flagellated himself to death. I don't think he was too happy up there. Jesus Christ. Oh, poor King Martin. He never stood a chance. I do actually want a hostage. You know what? That's a great idea. Mohammed, let's guarantee that you stay loyal to me, okay? God, doesn't that look cute? I don't need to rule it directly. I don't need to integrate it. We just have control and get income from it. Really great stuff. And Jesus Christ, looking at this now, I feel like we have a real challenge ahead of us. Just going off the fact that him being an administrative government seems to give him, yeah, a lot of abilities here, huh? Dude, this Bedouin Confederation is crazy. They are nomads. Oh my God. Are you seeing the amount of troops here? That is insane. No wonder they created like a world-spanning caliphate right here. Jesus Christ, this tiny guy, 3K. Oh my, this confederation is actually unhinged. What is that in total, like 12,000 troops? 24,000! Okay. Ah, there it is. All good things have to come to an end. Sultan Arpad the Handsome will be dead within a year. Is there anything I need to consider? We got Philip the Bloody, 38 years old. He's pretty old at this point, as our heir. Could I, theoretically, I can't designate heir. So he is designated because I did that as a nomad. As a clan ruler, I can't do it. And I am going to lose... Oh, I'm going to lose titles. That is so bad. I'm going to lose titles to the King of Hungary. God damn it. Be that as it may, I think the next generation has grand plans. And you know, looking at this now, actually, I want to... Yeah, I'm gonna start the Hunnic heritage. I think this is a good legend. I like the idea of this. We could go with a heroic one, but we need to tell everybody in Egypt that we are indeed descendant from the Huns. You know what they say? Hun, read a book, sweaty. And there he goes, 76 years old. Philip the Bloody has taken over, and yeah... I need to clean that up. That is disgusting, man. Just horrid. Oh, and I got bad news. Wow. The Abbasids actually conquered Anatolia. They are wilding out here. And we need to identify who should be my heir. Why are you both bald? Are you, is Caillou, like, is there a Caillou gene that I'm carrying around or something? I like Ilyas. Ilyas looks competent, he looks like warfare. You know what? I think I am going to target this fella here as my primary heir. We're gonna see how it pans out, but honestly, I'm not too concerned, at least not immediately. Man, I accidentally produced that Crusader States issue, where like you come in over here and then your family somewhere in distant Europe inherits, except for all Ismaili. How about we go on a quick Hajj? We need to learn, of course, what Mecca looks like. We haven't been Ismaili, we haven't been Muslim for all too long, and more importantly, I need to know whether the city is safe or whether a good, zealous Magyar needs to take it over to guarantee the safety of pilgrims. Now, I will, of course, do what needs to be done to show to people, even in my disguise, that I am the one proper leader of the Ummah. I will sacrifice 63 camels, which gives us profit-like. This character made an abundant religious sacrifice in the spirit of the Prophet during the Hajj. Take a look at the monthly piety increase there. Yeah, that's significant. We actually made it to 4, and I'm gonna shave. I'm gonna go bald. In... so that my children understand being bald is completely fine. We're getting a really good chunk of elements here. We did not pick up Wise Man, that kind of sucks, but that's okay. Take a look at this massive increase in piety that we made there. We had maximum piety going on there as well, of course. That was really neat. How is our legend spreading anyway? It's looking pretty good. I mean, everybody here's a family member. They better adopt it. That's all I can say. We're gonna do a classic Majesty tour. I just want to secure the realm. My God, it has been odd. You know that? It's been really odd. Because we've arrived here, basically are making no income, we need to kind of pacify the region. I think that is fair to say. Let's run him down in this sector, and I think our brother, you know what, he's just too far away. I'm gonna keep it the way it is, and we're gonna focus on the culture festivals so that I will be eligible for hybridization as quickly as possible, I think. Oh, and we're getting nomad graphics. That's, honestly, that's really funny, because we're decidedly not in nomad territory. I cannot believe I died. I didn't do anything. I think he ruled for 2 years. Yeah, he did. Wow, he flagellated himself to death on his grand tour. And now I'm a bald sultan. Excuse me? I'm 11 years old. Why am I bald? This makes me callous. They call me Caillou behind my back. And you know what? If they call me that, I will show them the power of a real Caillou. I wasn't the favorite of my father. And I am bald, which means I am nobody's favorite. Look at me. I will prove them wrong. And now we have a choice. Who do we want to become? We talked to Konrad about this. Well, what is the meaning of the servant's boys wink just now? I'll be honest with you. If you're bald, I think you're a menace. I think everybody knows this. You are an absolute beast. You got that dog in you. It's just the baldness within you. Look at my nephew now. He is a Said. Oh, we have it in the family, folks. It's been done. And that is just unbelievable. I gave Vito di Foggia one command. I said, give me a weapon that is worth... What the hell is this? Why am I owning this? I don't want to know, man. Okay, whatever. And he made Sultan Caillou's dagger. Look at this. Prowess plus 10 is insane. Initial hostile scheme successions plus 10 and scheme secrecy plus 11%. Actually crazy. Those are amazing stats. I am going to be a menace, both in bed and in secret. And so we have risen. We are an intricate web weaver and we are married to an Umayyad more legitimate than ever before. And now here comes the point where we need to start getting to work. And thank God, finally, we can found an hybridized culture. And of course, we're going to go with the Magyarab. I talked about them before. I love them. And we need them in a much stronger way than, you know, they exist historically. This is just great. Like, I can't even see him. We're going to go with entirely Magyar names, of course. We're going to do Arabic buildings. Both fashion sounds really good to me. And this is also both. That's fine. A new age, a new era, a new people. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, look at that. That is looking nice. Nothing wrong with what I can see right here. I'm going to start converting this land now, right? As you do. I literally, it's all green. I made a mistake making this green. That's terrible. Let's convert Alexandria, I guess. And then I think we're going to upgrade this legend. Excuse me? I get a claim on the Khazars? Are we going full circle? Is that what we're doing? I'm going to complete Hunnic heritage. Gain access to the Expand the Kingdom decision, allow you to immediately de jure drift a duchy into your title, that's fine. We get a pressed claim on the Khazars, okay dude. Wait, so you're telling me now that I have a claim on the Khazars? I don't know about that one, Chief. That seems a bit odd. But if you insist, we are actually going full circle and it's so stupid. We were over here. The Khazars pushed us out. We went west. We went all the way to North Africa. And then we decided, let's go for Egypt, much like the historical Fatimids. And in the end, everything comes back to this. My dear Khazar friends, can I defeat you? I don't know. But I am about to find out. I want to be the emperor of the Khazars. Let's make it happen. This is pretty stupid. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. We are home, my friends. The steppe. Ah. What a journey it has been. Hungary is also here. The whole gang has arrived, my friends. And that is the big battle right here. I haven't organized, but I don't think I need one. I can put just our better commander V2 on this and... Ooh, I mean, it is always so much closer. It is always so much closer when you are fighting people in the steppe that are steppe riders. But we did it. We have defeated them. I already know where this is going. I am so distraught. There's an independence war that the independence faction most certainly will win. Oh, that's a pain for me. Only for me, sadly. And there you go. I guess we are back in the Great Steppe right here. I need... What? There's no way. Okay, sorry. There's no way that it auto-converted me. It auto-converted me to nomad. You guys are such sickos. What the hell is going on? It can't just do that. That's not... The MAGYARABS. Come on. And the rebellion also ended. Okay, so now you know. I didn't know this. If you claim the title in the steppe, it just auto-forcefully converts you to being a nomad. Did it convert all my vassals? Nope. They are all clan. My god. Oh, and because I'm now a nomad, it immediately gives me a super bad vassal limit because look at this. Oh no! I have ruined this playthrough, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it. This is the... Do not do this. Do not go for an empire tier title in the steppe because it will make you an emperor with unruly nomads. Oh. And it is very painful, man. You know what? First things first. I surrender. You win. You are the king. You are supreme. Everybody loves you. What even did you get? You got nothing. Okay, nobody cares. Just stay away from me. Man, this DLC has edge cases over edge cases over edge cases, and it never works right. It's actually so crazy. I could theoretically switch back immediately by a forsake nomadism. I'm not gonna do this. Screw this. We are in exploit territory. I'm going crazy. That's upgrade number 1 right here. Let's keep it going, folks. We are so back in nomad gameplay, aren't we? I think the path forward is very simple. Jerusalem, despair. Because my horses are here. We are definitely going to destroy every last Jerusalemite inhabitant. I can tell you that much. I've had enough of this. And there's the siege of Damascus. I don't know where his troops are. I have no idea. He is fighting a couple of other wars. I'm gonna ignore that and just say thanks for Jerusalem. Let me see, right? I am going to move my capital here because I can move it however often I want anyway. And I think Jerusalem is just kind of cooler than Cairo. Oh yeah. There it is. Unceremoniously, Caillou declared Imam. But okay, I only took Jerusalem so that I can become Caillou right here, which we did. Now the next stop is Mesopotamia, because like I said, I do want this right here, the ringed city, or the round city. Ringed city is Miyazaki. We want to take it over. I can migrate only on the kingdom level, but I don't know, from the looks of it, this looks pretty good to me. If I take this over, do I actually get what the Caliph holds as well? Because it doesn't seem to be joining this fight. You know what, let's try it. Let's see how buggy this can get, okay? Let's hop on in there. We're having fun here. I'm experimenting with stuff that doesn't make any sense, because theoretically, this guy should have come in defending this territory. I got a feeling that I'm getting Mesopotamia. I'm getting Mesopotamia, and then nothing over here. I only get this teeny tiny piece of land. We'll figure it out. Yeah, that is so funny. I actually just destroyed the Khazars and Egypt for no reason. Like, Egypt, throw it out the window. Why, you might ask? I don't know either. I think the assumption of this mechanic was to only ever migrate into territory that is held by other nomadic rulers, which is why what I'm doing right now didn't pull in this non-nomadic ruler. Now, I will say, obviously, I'm playing in a non-standard steppe region. It is available via a game rule, but still, I get that it wouldn't work, but even here, you can have that scenario happen. So, I am not sure why it doesn't work, but we have fun here. He didn't even show up. No fighting. They keep doing this lately. The AI loves doing that. And I have become... I have become this territory. And Hungary somehow... Oh my god, it's the resurgence of Hungary. They are making a gigantic comeback. I don't know how he did it. But he's taken over in Egypt. Maybe Egypt was the Hungary that we made along the way this whole time. I think I'm going to try my best. We're going to finish it here on conquering Mesopotamia and settling there once again. I will settle and unsettle and settle and unsettle 15 times over, if that is indeed what it takes. It destroyed my Caliph title. You are oh my god. You can't be nomad and Caliph? I'm crying. What was it all for? What was it all for, man? Why would that not be an option? Okay, whatever, dude. This has been a disaster of a video. You know how it is. That's... Okay. I'm just assaulting you. Sorry, pal. I'm a disgraced man. What do you want from me? Can I call in a couple other people here? Disgrace me further. Let's just kick the can here. We have brought, as the Magyarabs, which is our duty, the mechanics to their very limit. And I can tell you, it doesn't pan out in your favor. Things will happen, none of which you will believe to make sense, if you stretch the definition of nomad gameplay the same way that I have. At least we're coming for Baghdad. All of it is worth it, if I can come for Baghdad here. Okay, we have actually found them. A fight is now inevitable. I'm going to I'm going to get a Tear the Hunter. Seems good, doesn't have any commands. I mean, that kind of sucks, but we can make it... Oh my god, they split. The AI loves doing this. They love splitting. And off we go, folks. Let's get in there. Let's fight them on the attack, and they're not even reinforcing. Oh, that is dire. Let's teach them oh god. That is brutal. The AI didn't even try. Come on, man. Let's finish the siege of Baghdad here. Beautiful stuff. Baghdad has been taken. I am losing my mind. Why would we abandon parts of the kingdom that we just conquered and give them to random East Bantu nomads? Can I become the head of faith? I could. That is good enough for me. We have MAGYARABS now in Egypt. We have them in Mesopotamia. The world as we know it is crazy. I'll take it. This game is most certainly a video game. I hope that looking at Baghdad makes you happy, because we're calling it here. This is pure deranged insanity. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I will leave you right here, and I'll see you later, alligator.